Let's hear it for James.
Jaimasi. That means, like, to Jesus, the victory. Or Jesus is the victory. It's how Nepalis greet each other. And I think it's awesome, right? I love that. It's an honor for me to be able to serve the churches around Asia. And it's a shame that Ashish couldn't be here, because this whole session was for me and Ashish to do together. So a lot of it, majority of the session is going to be a recorded Zoom that I edited. There was over an hour and a half worth of stuff. So it's like, we brought that down to about 35 minutes. Just a little bit about Nepal, because it is an amazing story, because the very first church was planted in Nepal in 1952. Before that, no churches. That's incredible, right? And today, it's estimated there's over 3 million believers, right? And on Pete's talk earlier, there was the pie chart, and we saw the different segments. A lot of Nepal is very, very unreached. And that's what you guys are going to be hearing about today, because what Ashish does is going up into mountain areas, going to hill tribes, and going where the word of God, where Jesus has never, ever been proclaimed. I love how he says sometimes he goes into places and says, have you ever heard about Jesus? And they say, is that a man or a woman? It's like it's so unreached. There's no context at all. And so in this session that we're going to go into, we have a lot of great stories, and you'll hear about how he's doing church planting in Nepal. But I don't want you to just hear them as, wow, that's great stories. That's great stories from Nepal. That doesn't work like that here. But actually the lessons and the discussions we're going to go into, that you actually say, yeah, how can I take those principles and those challenges and bring them into my context? All right, so let's cue the video just now. Rather him than me. We're going to go straight into the next part in a moment, but this is Ashish Gairel. It's Cornelius's brother. So Ashish and Cornelius, amazing guys. Cornelius's big brother. Ashish, amazing man of God, and he was just like, Pastor James, please help me. Please help to fund some of these missions and things. It's not a lot, right, to do incredible work. And I love what he said. He said, I'm still young. He's only 32, unmarried, ladies. He's only 32. I cut that part out of the video, so I thought, like, he said it for some reason. I guess he felt it was important. But he said to me, I want to, like, when I'm older, I'm going to have a family, I'm going to have a wife and kids. I'm not going to be as physically fit to do this because it's physically demanding. Right? I mean, you saw some of the stuff there, because actually that's on bike. Sometimes they go by bike for a day, go and go and go, drive maybe 24 hours, and they're going, and then they get to the mountain. Then their bike's down, and then they have to climb the mountain for maybe 5 hours or 8 hours. And so he said, I want to spend my youth, like his health, to reach these people. So and he's not like a guy that you'd think, oh yeah, well, that's maybe obvious, he's come to faith, and he lives around there, so he's just going to see these guys. He's given up so much to be able to do this. So I find it challenging, and I hope you guys, in the calls that are maybe stirring in you, that his story will challenge you. Let's go on to the next part.
Ashish, it's so great to have you joining with us today. I thought maybe a good way to start is you telling us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. So thank you so much, sir, for putting this question. Going back to my past, obviously it is true that there was a time when I was a dance teacher. It was around 2016, right? So I was a dance teacher, sir, even though I was born in a Christian family. So to be honest here, my relationship with Jesus Christ, it was not that much strong, which should have been, right? I always used to be far from God. I never used to go to the church. I always wanted to be away from the church activities, right? So I was a dance teacher. I was having my own dance club, even though I have done 3 Nepali movies. But there was an encounter that I was having with my Jesus Christ right at night. I had a dream that I could see I'm standing on the rock, and in front of me there are many people who are just sitting. So I'm just standing on the rock, and I was having one stick into my hand. I was just standing like this, and I couldn't understand the meaning of this dream. So I went to my pastor and I did say all these things, and he told me that God wants to use you for his kingdom. And I said, okay, I'm ready to leave everything for my Jesus Christ. Now, instead of pleasing the world, I just want to seek the kingdom of God. That's why I left everything. Then I started doing ministry in the mountainside.
So we're now going to go on to a part, and actually just to say, because I had to cut this part, but I think it's awesome, he was in movies in Nepal. That's what he walked away from. His mates, his friends, who kept saying, come and do a dance video with us and stuff, they're like recognized by Nepalis everywhere. So he was in the city, very cool guy. We're like, you're the coolest guy here. And then, apart from when Nash came as well, Nash is very cool. But then he gave that all up to go to remote places where people wouldn't see, and he's been doing this since 2019, where people wouldn't know him, to see the word of God spread. If you look on your tables, because we're going to be going into, and this is what really captivated Pete and I, there's a few, that the image will be on the screen, it's just, I'm not sure how good it will show up there. So I wanted these to be there for you guys. The Nepal generational map. So let's go into the next part, where we begin to dig into that.
What I would love for you to do, to start with, is tell us what we're looking at, just at a high level. What is it that we're just currently looking at?
Okay, so thank you so much, sir, for showing this Nepal generational map. And obviously, I believe that all the people, those are sitting over here, they are also able to see this. Once you see, by seeing all this map, you might be getting so many questions into your mind, and you might be not able to understand, or you might be not able to acknowledge what is this, right? But I just want to say something about it. There are many people who do say I'm doing ministry since many years, right? And they do say I have planted church here and there. I have been into that place. I have gone there, and I stayed there. I started many churches, right? That is good to hear. And I personally, what I believe that as I'm doing ministry, right, as I'm trying to extend God's kingdom into my country, I must be able to record my work, what I'm doing here, right? So because at last, obviously, when I will be having my children, they also also will feel proud to see the work that has been done through me into this world, right? So this generational Nepal generational map, what it helps that you can see that uh, how many house churches I have started so far. By seeing this, you can recognize very easily.
So pause a second, because you've just said it, but I'll ask you the question. What does each circle represent?
Okay, so you can see each circle, there are almost, I do believe, more than 40 circles are there, and each circle represent house church, sir.
So each circle here represents a church that you planted,
Yes,
yeah,
sir, yes.
or that church has gone on to plant, yeah.
Yes, sir, yes.
And what is the significance of the symbols inside each circle? I'll see if I can't zoom in, but I can see, with inside each circle, we have here like a cloud, a heart,
Yeah.
a person with like a shepherd's staff, um, somebody that looks like they're skiing, but I'm sure it's not skiing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So maybe you can explain the nine things inside, or how what these different symbols mean.
Okay, so each circle, as you said, that there are nine symbol, right? But that nine symbol you do not see in every circle, right? In
Yeah.
some of the circle you see there are five or there are seven, symbol you see, but most of the circle has nine symbol, right? So I just want to let you know what that symbol is describing, right? So first, describing is believers are coming to the house church or not.
Okay.
Right.
So
And
one of the
second,
symbols shows that people are actually attending the church.
they're coming to the house church or not. Okay. And second one is fellowship is going on or not. You can see the people who are standing just raising two hands, right, in some of the box.
I think so. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. People are just standing like this. So that describe are they worshiping to the Lord or not while they come to the church. And
Yeah.
another one is you can see the symbol of heart, right? Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So that describe is there love or not? I mean, have they united in love or not?
Yeah. Is there a
So
transformational love going on within the community, or are they still living in a way that they used to live before?
yeah,
Yeah.
and another symbol you can see it like there is a like book, right? You can see a
Yeah.
symbol like book.
Okay. Yeah. The one on the center left on a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that describe are they having Bible study or not in that house
Oh,
church?
okay. Yeah. Great. Are they studying the Bible? That's good.
Yeah, and you can say that there is a symbol which holding another guy. In the on the top of the circle, you can see on the bottom one guy is holding to another guy, right?
I can't see that, but
On the
as
top,
long
sir,
as
on
you
the
know
top.
which one it is, it's okay. On the top center one,
Yeah, yeah.
your
Under
first
the
bit.
under the heart, you can see. Yeah, one guy is holding to another guy, right?
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought it was holding a stick. Okay,
Yeah.
right.
So
No,
so
sorry.
that so that
Yeah.
describing are they sharing the gospel or not, or they are
Oh,
bringing people
okay.
to the house church or not.
Yeah. The one under the heart, the bottom center one. Two people. Are they sharing? Are they evangelizing?
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
another one you can see like a cup, right? You can see
The
like a
cup. Yeah.
cup.
Yeah. Yeah.
So are they having Holy Communion or not, or are they having Lord's Supper or not in that house church?
Yeah. Okay. Great.
And you can see there is a two land is going. It seems like it's going to two land, right? Like water is flowing.
Yes. Yes.
So that describing people are being baptized or not.
Okay. Awesome. So great. Yeah. One of
Yeah,
our foundations, right? Get them baptized. That's great. And then also there's underneath, just whilst we're on like investigating this map,
yeah,
underneath you've got L, a plus, that looks like the two water lines again, and something, maybe a D is it?
Yeah, D. Okay,
Um,
so I just want to, I just want to, tell about it. You can see L. L means who is the leader of that household. If you make it zoom,
okay.
so you can read the name. For example, there is a, uh, so we can take the example of any, right? You can see Salik,
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, I see. Yeah, no, I
Salik,
can see
right?
their names. Okay,
Yeah.
it's the
So,
main
so
leader's name.
Yeah, so L means the leader of that household who's running,
Great.
and you can see the symbol of plus, right? So
Cross,
it
yeah.
shows how many believers are there. 25. You can see some has 25, some has
Okay.
20, some has 5, right?
Yeah, some's got 40, some's got 80, some
Yeah,
25. Yeah, great.
and you can see the two line, right, which is describing out of total believers how many believers have been baptized. So you can see some has 20, some has 5, some has 8, right?
Yeah, no, that's great. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's so great that you keep track of that data to do with in these far off places, like how many are part of the church, how many of those people have been baptized, and then D, can I take a guess?
Yeah,
That
it
the
is a
date
date,
you
sir.
started it.
In which year I started. You can see some has 20, 2022, 21, 23, 24. You can see. So which year this house church has been started, sir?
So good.
So that's just so amazing. You'll notice as well there is a lack of any contact details. There's a lack of any location, and he does that intentionally in case somebody prints loads of copies of it and then it gets into the wrong hands, and people can find them. It's for their safety, right? So that because otherwise you're just looking for a bloke in Nepal called Ashish, right? You can't find him, right? So. So, first discussion, 5 minutes, guys. We'll do quick ones. Don't wait around. Let's talk. In your ministry, what do you need to measure? Because I think that's amazing with Ashish that he is measuring. He can tell you how many believers are there, how many have been baptized, right? And then there's all these things in that church. They're taking Holy Communion because he's got churches spread all around these different places. How do we be diligent to make sure what needs to happen happens? And so the question is for you guys in your ministries, and maybe it's in your home groups, maybe it's in worship team, right? What is it you need to measure?
So now I think another question just about this generational map, which is just amazing. When Ashish first showed this to me, I was blown away. I remember getting the photo from him, and then I sent it to Pete, and Pete was blown away, and and so we were super. And also, did you kind of invented this yourself, right? I know there are
Yeah.
some ideas of multi-generational maps, but this is something you've created on your as for your work.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So I want you to now just have a tell us a little bit about the lines so people understand
Yeah.
what these lines represent. So maybe
Okay.
start at that top one in the middle under the G.
Yeah.
That's that church there with 80 people.
Okay. So it will be very difficult for me to make you understand, but still I will give my best. So you can see on the top there's one circle, and in that circle leader name is Ashish, right, sir?
Is that
On
you?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that church has been started by me. Okay, so
Yes.
in my church there are around 30 people.
Oh, it's a 30. Sorry, I read it as 80. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
30 people are there. That church has been started by me, and from that church you can see the line is going on, right?
Yeah. Four
Right.
lines coming out.
Yeah, you can see the line that is going on. You can see the one big line, a black one that is coming to on the
Like at the
downside,
top.
on the bottom. See, you can see
Oh,
the
right down to the bottom. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yes,
Comes all
yes.
the way through. Yeah.
So in my church there is a guy whose name is Daniel Parivar.
Okay, yes, this one down in the bottom center.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so I always do say, Brother Daniel, you must start the house church. You must go and share the gospel. So after getting my vision, after after understanding what my vision is and what we must do, then Pastor Daniel had started one house church that you can see his name, his leader name is
Daniel.
Daniel Parivar, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, so Daniel Parivar has 20 believers, and in his believer there is one guy whose name is Dina. Sorry, there is one sister whose name is Dina. You can see on the bottom.
Yeah. Okay.
And Daniel said to
Dina.
Dina, who was his believer, said, Dina, you also must start one house church. So Dina said, okay, let's do. I will try. And Dina was able to start house church with 10 believers.
Okay. Great.
So sorry, 15 believers, sir. 15
Yeah.
believers. Right?
So good.
And
So
and
he
Dina,
raised her up and trained her, and then said, "You need to go and start something now."
yeah, and
Yeah.
Dina was having 15 believers. Out of that, one sister was there whose name was Elisa.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Dina said to Elisa, Elisa, see what I'm doing. I'm a girl. I'm a teenager. I started church. You can also do
She's a
that, please.
teenager.
Yeah,
Dina's a
teenager.
teenager. Wow.
Teenager.
Wow.
And Dina said to Elisa, see what I'm doing. You can also do. Go and share the gospel and start house churches. When Elisa heard that, when Elisa also made the decision of starting new house churches, she went to another place and she started house churches with 15 believers.
Wow. So good. And
Yeah.
these 15 believers, did they're like how did where are they from? Are they people she led to faith in this new place, or did they go with her from other churches, or how does it work? How did that work?
Yeah, so she went to one village which was nearby her house. There were some people who got backslided, right? Before they were Christian, but somehow they got backslided, and she
Okay.
found two. She found two house, and she witnessed to Jesus Christ, and somehow she was able to bring them again with the journey of Jesus Christ. Then she started house churches, and in her house church there was one guy whose name was Sam.
Okay, Siam.
And
Siam.
yeah. And Elisa said to that guy, you also go and you need to share the gospel. Start one house churches. How long you will be into my church? Now it's time to go. And he said, okay, I will also go. And he started one church. There are 21 believers.
Wow. So that's incredible. So that's, actually, when you bring it all together, it's like
Yeah.
over 100 people being reached very, very quickly,
Yeah.
right?
And I'm sorry to say that the believers of Sam, they are not able to start any more house churches. And
Not
it
yet.
stopped there.
Not yet. Not
Not
yet.
yet, but I do
Not
believe
yet.
one day it will be, but not yet, and it stopped there, right?
And so, actually, all the lines we're looking at, has that been a similar process? Like this
Yeah,
one with Lib. With
Lila.
Lib, was that out of your church, or was that a village you went to and then you led them to faith?
You know,
One on the top sort of left of the image, the
yeah,
red circle at the top left.
yes, sir. To village where I went to share the gospel, the church was started by myself, but I said, Lila, you must be the leader of this church because I can't come here every time, right?
Lila, not Lib. Sorry, I'm
Sorry.
not reading very clearly today. Lila, okay. So you said is that a lady?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I said to that lady, even though this church has been started by me, but you must be the leader of this church. I said to her, and she said, okay, I'll do, and she is the leader of this church, right?
Yeah.
And and in his church there was a sister whose name was Rebecca.
Okay.
And Rebecca was the believer of Lila church, but Lila also said the same thing. You also go and share the gospel, start one church. And Rebecca was able to start one church with 21 believers.
Amazing.
And Rebecca was having a boy whose name was Milan, and she said to Milan, go and you also need to start a church. But unfortunately, in his church, not all the 9 activities are running.
Yeah, okay, I see. That's still a church developing, and is that the kind of church then that you sometimes go back through and you go back to visit to try and
Yeah.
support and encourage them to grow?
Yes, yes, you are absolutely right, sir. In his church, there is a no Lord Supper. You can see that's not going on, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And people are not able to bring another people to Christ. You can see.
yeah,
So that's how I get a picture of each house churches, how much they are being effective to the entire village, right? And
yeah.
Milan said the vision that we have, but after getting his vision, another guy was able to start a church, right? So that's how this generational map keeps
Yeah.
going. Even though I cannot make the record of everything, but my leader are the one who keep record of everything, right?
And it's great because like even though it's a bit messy, it's not planned like super clean cut. I don't mean the writing's messy. I mean just this guy, he's he doesn't have everything going. It's not everything functioning, and yet he has planted churches which since then another two levels or two generations have been planted. So down that line with Leela, from you, from including you is like seven generations, but from you is from your initial church is six generations of churches, all from raising up leaders and preparing them and sending them out to start something new.
Yes, sir.
So good, hey? So good. So, another 5 minutes. We won't hang around. In your ministry, what could you start doing to become multi-generational? You see, each one of those lines and each of those things running down is a generation upon a generation upon a generation. And Cornelius was also just reminding me to highlight to you guys, because when he spoke the other day, he said there were 23 churches in Nepal. And they are our churches in the valley, right? That within the lowland areas of Nepal. These ones we're looking at today weren't included in that count, actually, because these are all churches way up in the Himalayas, where we have things where sometimes it's maybe only 1.5 kilometers between, but then it would take hours and hours to travel even just a short distance. So many smaller churches get established within communities. Let's go into the next section.
I want to go on I'm going to keep the map up
So
for a bit. We mentioned here about some on this map. We see there are six generations, not including your church, which would be the seventh, which is just awesome. You've helped us really understand what that looks like. What I'm sort of wondering is how do you go about preparing and training people to go and do that? And are people also quite new and they sort of learn on the job as they step out?
yeah. So obviously, I would love to train my leaders, right? Because they are not much educated and they have been never into the Bible training center or Bible college, right? So
Yeah.
usually I would like to go to them. So for example, I went to the Lila church, right? So I do ask Lila, on this day, I mean coming to your church and we are going to have training of 2 days, and I don't know much about the people who had started house churches under your leadership. So if you don't mind, can you invite them for 2 days so that we can have a training, and she is the one who tells to her leaders, okay, brother Ashish is going to be here, so why don't you come to have a training? So that's what I do go, and that's how I conduct the training with I can't say with entire leaders, but the place where I go, if there is any leader who is running house churches, I invite them, and I do ask to each leader, you need to bring one guy with you. It doesn't matter, sister or boy, you just bring so that they may also catch our vision. So they bring, if they are not able to make them to start new church, and I give my best so that I can also tell them you also need to start one church. There's also I do conduct a training. Sometimes I go to Lila place, sometimes I go to Daniel place, sometimes I go to Abhishek place. So there's also I do conduct a training.
That's brilliant. So you go and do this apostolic training with the sort of family, the multi-generation down one line in maybe one particular area. People come in and the leaders come in, but the leaders bring someone that they are thinking is somebody who could plant another church, who could be the next leader that they're going to be releasing. So you actually are supporting them in their training up of further leaders. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
that's great. And so, what does the transition look like? Let's say, when there was it Rebecca, you said, was in the church with Leela, and Leela's saying, Rebecca, you should go and plant a house church. What does that transition look like when Rebecca goes out? Like, what does that look like? Does she just leave one day, or do some people support her? Yeah, like how does that look?
Yeah, so sir, how it looks like, let me tell you. For example, you already have taken the example of Leela and Rebecca, right? So Leela said to Rebecca, you just go and start a house church, right? She will be the one who will be finding a place. Ministry field she will be finding by herself, right? And
Right.
once she goes and once she lead people to Christ, 2 or 3 weeks, Leela will be helping her. Okay, how she has to lead and how she has to do all activities. But she cannot go every time. Even if she can go, I do ask you don't go, right? Because see, for example, sir, it is good to carry a small baby. It is good to carry, right?
Yeah.
If he or she is 1 year old, it seems very good if someone is carrying, and 2 years old, it also seems very good to carrying. But if he becomes 5 years old, 6 years old, do you think that they must be carried? No, it doesn't seem good, right? It seems very ugly. So in the
Yeah.
same way, what we need to understand as being leader, it is good to carry our leader for some days, for some week, for some month. But carrying every time, it doesn't seem good to all the people. So that is why I said you go carry for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month also, but don't try to carry every time. Just leave them until unless you leave them, they want to be able to do the things that has to be done by themselves. So they do help for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Sometimes it goes more than 1 month also. Then after that they leave, and our old leader who has started their church, he runs, sir.
That's great. I think that's important, isn't it? And so it helps that new person stepping out to also grow and get stronger and make mistakes and learn from their mistakes too.
Yeah.
With regard to planting new ones, or let's say with regard to start from starting a new church to reaching people for Jesus, seeing them come to faith, begin discipling them, what would you say is the sort of average time before another house church has started?
Okay, so every time, sir, I could say it takes around 6 months, sir.
6 months between
Yeah,
launches, yeah?
yeah.
And
Between
yeah, and how often? So it's about 6 months between launches, and I know some people will be already Christian when they connect, or they're coming back to faith. But also for people in churches that they've just come to faith, and then do you have some scenarios where 6 months later they came to faith, and then 6 months later they're already planting a church?
Yeah, sir. That has been done into one place. Teenager. So I gave the example of Dina, right? I said to
Yeah,
Dina, she's a teenager. So
yeah.
she was able to start church within 2 months.
So she came to faith, and 2 months later she
Yeah,
started
two
the
months
church.
later she started church because
Wow.
because once she come to the Lord, we just start sharing our vision. You just
Yeah.
go and share the gospel and start a house church. We don't say you need to wait 2 3 months 4 months, right? We just keep sharing, and within 2 months she said, okay, now I started one church. When she came to the Daniel church, she was sharing the testimony in front of all the believers. She said that I got the vision through my pastor, and within 2 months I have started one house churches. So that's the living testimony, that I am having so far, sir.
I love it.
Wow, hey, that's awesome. 2 months from coming to faith to planting a church. So this section, rapid reproduction, right? And then we've got Dina's story. So Dina, as a 2-month-old, look, she's a teenager, but as a 2-month-old church leader, discuss. Have a chat amongst yourselves. And something I just want to share with you guys, just as you're turning around, something I noticed all the time is when they do something new, is vision. The vision to plant was the first thing she ever heard. The vision to get the gospel out was the first thing. So from the day one of coming to faith, she had in her heart Ashish's vision to see all the Himalayas reached.
What, from your experience, do you think the biggest mistake is that leaders make when they want to grow, but then don't actually reproduce themselves?
Yeah, it's a good question, but I know so many leaders are sitting over there, and they might be saying, what Ashish is saying, but I just want to say out of my experience, as you said, I'm saying this out of my experience, okay? So actually, I'm also leader, right? So obviously, leader wants to speak much, right? Leader wants to speak much, but they don't put that into their action what they say, right? To take the attention of the believers, leader must be example for entire church believers.
Yeah.
For example, if I keep saying do this and that, but I'm not doing, that doesn't make any difference, right? So because of that, leader must do what he or she is saying, sir. And yeah, please.
That's great. So, like, actually, you are model, assist, watch, and leave. It is that you're talking about the model part is that their life is a model, but then also to remember if we're saying something, then we should model it in our lives as leaders.
Yeah, that's true, sir.
Yeah. Did you have to believe something different about ordinary people, or like a young teenage girl who's only been a Christian for 2 months? Did you have to believe something about ordinary people in order to trust them to plant the next generations of churches? Maybe you could speak to us a little bit about this area of trusting just not just ordinary people, but sometimes like people that don't fit the mold. A teenage girl who's been a Christian for 2 months isn't like your classic church planter.
That is true, sir. What you are saying. For most of the leaders, it is very difficult to trust ordinary person, and they do think he or she cannot do anything, right? But sir, I just want to tell you, right? I always try to find out a church planter when I teach, when I speak in my church, right? See, we are the not one who need to judge whether he is ordinary, whether he can do or she can do or not. We are the not one. That authority has been not given by God so far. I do understand. Even in the Bible also, God has used very, very ordinary people. See, Moses was very ordinary. He was a shepherd. David, he was very, very young boy. But he was chosen to be a king, and he was chosen to defeat Goliath. He was very, very ordinary people. See, let's think about the Peter. He was fisherman, right? Fisherman. In our context now, if we talk about fishermen in Nepal, they do think he's nothing, he can't do anything. He's a very simple boy, very ordinary boy. But that fisherman whom Jesus made a leader among the disciples. See, in the entire Bible, we see God is using very ordinary people, right?
Yeah.
And who are we that we are trying to find out a good guy and we are trying to judge he can do this, he can do this? No, at all. We need to put the vision to all the people. God is the one who will speak to them. but our task is just to share the vision that has been given by God, and God will speak to heart of the people, and out of our believers, out of our congregation, obviously some people will be there who will be catching that vision. It doesn't matter he or she is ordinary or not, because ordinary can do the bigger thing what I am doing right now. So because of
Amen.
that, I always try to I'll never judge he is ordinary or not. I share the vision. If they trust my vision, if they like, if they go ahead, I be so happy. In the same way, I just want to tell to all the people, please trust your believers. If you don't trust, then who is going to trust? You are a pastor, you are a leader, I'm a pastor, I'm a leader. If I cannot trust my believers, then who will trust them, right? That is why I put trust in them, and God is the one who will leading them. That's what I do think, sir.
So good. Did you have to let go of control to make multiplication actually happen, or allow it to happen? Did you ever feel sometimes you were like it was totally out of control? You weren't like the puppet master.
Yeah,
How did that feel?
yeah. So out of my experience, what I do say, I don't know whether people will be agree with me or not. If you try to keep control people, they will do the ugly things that we never like. Because of that, it's good to leave them. Right? It is good to leave them. We just tell do this and that. We need to leave them. If we try to put control on them, obviously sometimes they will disobey what I don't like or what you all don't like, right? Because of that, just because God has given freedom to each one of us, right? One of the biggest gifts that we have got from God is, freedom. That is why he said, if anyone believe, he doesn't say you must believe. He said, if anyone believe in Jesus Christ, they will be saved. He said, if, right? He has given the freedom. So in the same way, I also love to give freedom to my leaders, right?
Okay, guys, for the last discussion, 5 minutes, I've split it where the backslash or forward slash is around the 3 questions we had there. So model well, leading to growth, right? That's what he was talking about, being a model, right? All are worthy, share the vision and see, right? Not that part he was speaking about, don't judge. And then lastly, God is in control, trust him. Right, it's like give responsibility to the leaders and let them fly, let them run. So maybe you just want to pick one of them, okay? But take 5 minutes now, or 4 minutes and 17 seconds, and have a chat. Break as well. This is kind of to the end. I'd love just to play that intro again now that you've got to know Ashish a bit better, because I think seeing his situation is a little bit more pertinent now you've got to hear from him. And then also we're building up to start something a bit like Mission Extreme, where we can take people up into these hillside areas. It'll be physically demanding, it'll be hard, but if you're interested, please email admin@goglobalfamily.org. Okay, so let's just play the next little part, just to end our time together.